Dear Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure for giving us the opportunity to take part in this important meeting, Metro Legal, here in São Paulo. Please let me introduce myself first. My name is Karlheinz Banholzer. I'm head of metrology in Sartorius in Germany. We in the department are responsible for reaching approvals for our balances worldwide. Means we must take care on the different requirements of different countries from Asia, Africa, Europe, North and South America, even all countries which follows the OML recommendation at least. That is also the reason Sartorius is participating in the European Weighing Association, CECIP, to get the international developed recommendation more and more accepted by one-stop testing all over the world. The OML CS system is a base which we can together improve to get the acceptance in future also in Brazil, for instance. In parallel, I'm in CECIP, the president of the Legal Metrology Group, where we cope with lawmakers and work to introduce administrative burdens of the manufacturers. But now to our topic, how the conformity assessment according to the Non-Automatic Weighing Instruments Directive 2014/31 EU in Europe is realized in Europe. First, I will give you some information about the legislation, which is the base for the conformity assessment. Then a short explanation what kind of different possibilities for different measuring instruments we have for the conformity assessment. Finally, I will show you how in Sartorius organize the different requirements to issue at least a certificate of conformity. The European Union is a supranational political and economic union of 27 member states. Three main ways of legislation we have implemented. We have European regulations. They are binding for all member states and they are directly applicable. We have European directives. They are binding for all member states. They can choose a form and methods left to the national authorities, and the implementation must follow a given timetable. And then, last but not least, national laws. They are still possible, but may not collide with European laws. The new legislative framework is to design the legislation adopted in 2008. They aiming to improve the international market for goods and strengthen the condition for placing a wide range of products on the European market. Is to improve market surveillance rules, set clear and transparent rules for the accreditation of conformity assessment bodies, and boost the quality of and confidence in the conformity assessment of products, clarify the meaning of CE marking, and establish a common legal framework for industrial products. The CE marking indicates that the product may be traded freely in any part of the European Economic Area, regardless of its country of origin. The presence of the CE marking is commercial products indicates that the manufacturer or importer affirms the goods in conformity with European health, safety and environmental protection standards. There are different regulations in place: Restriction of Hazardous Substances Directive, Waste Electrical and Electronic Equipment Directive, Toy Safety Directive, Low Voltage Directive, EMC Directive, Measuring Instrument Directive, where different instruments are covered. Non-automatic weighing instrument directive, the NAVID. We focus today on it. Here you can see the different procedures for conformity assessment, where different modules must be combined, but not each possibility is allowed for each measuring instrument category. For NAVIS, we have an instrument with a higher risk, so you have only possibilities of module B and D together. B is a EC type examination, D is production quality assurance, or B and F. B also is a type examination as in Brazil, and F is a product verification done by a notified body. And then the third possibility for NAVIS are the module G. It's a unit verification. That's done by a notified body when you have only some instruments to bring into the market, and it's a process or a procedure where you have only 1 or 2 in a year to verify. Let me have a look to module B. Module B is an EC type examination procedure. It must be obtained from a notified body. It's the same procedure than we do in Brazil. It's PDB, it's METAS, it's LNE. Different countries have the metrology institutes where you can ask for application. The assessment of the adequacy of the technical design of the instrument through examination of the technical documentation and supporting evidence plus examination of specimen. Then you get an EG, EU type approval certificate like shown. Module D, which covers production quality assurance management, to be allowed to produce a balance for applications where verified instruments are required. Therefore, you need procedures to manage the quality which is described in Module D. Recognition must be obtained from a notified body, e.g. PDB and METAS, for example, and maintained through periodic audits. This is done on a yearly basis. The manufacturer shall operate an approved quality system for production. Finally, final product inspection and testing of the instruments concerned. The quality system shall ensure that the instruments are in conformity with the type described in the EU type examination certificate and comply with the requirements of this directive that apply to them. When you have done when you fulfill all the requirements, the manufacturer shall affix the CE marking on the supplementary metrology marking set out in this directive. It looks like this, for example. Additionally, the manufacturer shall draw up a written EU declaration of conformity for each instrument model and keep it at the disposal for national authorities for 10 years. That's the obligation of the manufacturer. Let me show how it can work in the real world. The development process starts with an idea. Then a project will start when the idea is accepted. In the project, they develop a prototype. When the prototype works well, they produce a production type. And with this production type, we can start an EU type examination. The process. When we received it, the pilot production starts, and afterwards, after accept of the pilot production, the serial production will start and the sales starts. In between, there are some gates and releases, like a kickoff gate. You have different requirements from the NAVI directive, from EN 45501 or OML R76, which have to be fulfilled. Technical drawings will be developed and documentation. Then you go to a pilot gate. The next step is from production type to the EU type examination certificate to make all the tests and fulfill the tests by the notified body. Then you receive the type examination certificate and your job is done until this point. This is the module B for EU type examination. Then the production assurance or quality assurance starts. We have the certificate and we provide the certificate and further information to the production. Then the production starts. They produce such models and we check if all the requirements are fulfilled according to the type examination certificate and other requirements like internal specifications, and we test instruments according to this. We create procedures to ensure conformity to type. Then is again a release position, milestone. Then the serial production can start when everything works well. After a serial production, there is a test of conformity to the specs during production and a conformity assessment at the production site is manually done to check the requirements again, like weighing performance, eccentricity, and so on. Additional, we have internal product audits during production phase, and we have quality assurance by QFLEG, so-called QFLEG. So that means that 3% of the instruments are tested again after they are more or less finalized. That's our process. Conclusion. The conformity assessment is well established in the EU. For legal metrology, usually module B and D or module B and F is used. A quality management system is a base, different possibilities. You have also the ISO 9001 probably, and additional legal requirements must be fulfilled. We have regular audits to the installed processes and the quality management system by the notified bodies on a yearly basis. The declaration of conformity must be issued by the manufacturer and must be available for 10 years. The manufacturer's responsibility to fulfill the requirements for the CE marking. There is a supervision of the manufacturer by the notified body, by the audits, and there is a supervision of the products by the market surveillance in whole Europe, by each country. So thank you very much again. Please, if you have any question, contact Carlos Scarden, my colleague, or myself. The contacts you can find here on the last slide. Furthermore, I wish you a very successful meeting in the next days and hopefully to see you next time in present. Take care and see you.